Mr. Ambassador, what are our options regarding Iran right now? What can we do?
I think our options are very limited, and I think that's unfortunate, but I think diplomacy has failed. I don't see any prospect that diplomacy will dissuade the Iranians from continuing to pursue nuclear weapons. So I think we're down to basically two other options. One is regime change in Tehran, and the other is the targeted use of military force against aspects of Iran's nuclear weapons program. I think these are both unattractive options, but I think it's even more unattractive to contemplate an Iran with nuclear weapons.
And how do we deal with the regime change? Who does that?
Well, you know, regime change is not something that can be turned on and off like a light switch. I wish for the past 5 or 6 years we had spent more time with the various opposition elements inside and outside Iran. I don't think it's too late to start. I don't think it requires American military force. I think the regime in Tehran is weaker than people think, and that with enough effort it could be overthrown.
Who does the strategic bombing? Will it be the Israelis or will it be the Americans?
I don't see any possibility that the Bush administration is going to use military force before it leaves office. I do think it's under very serious consideration in Israel now whether they will use military force. I don't think they've made a decision, but if it comes, it will come from Israel.
Will John McCain follow your advice?
I don't think the Israelis will wait until the McCain administration takes office. I think the threat of an Iran with nuclear weapons is such an existential threat to the state of Israel that they'll act when they're ready. That could be before the end of the year.
But if they don't have it, should John McCain?
Well, I think you have to keep the military option on the table, and it's not an option that remains static. It grows less viable as time goes on because Iran is increasing its air defenses and further diversifying the locations of its nuclear program. So if we're going to do anything to prevent Iran from getting nuclear weapons, I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later.